Hi, I'm Dr. Joan Friedman. Welcome back to Twin Tuesday. When a family member decides to contact off with someone, you can be cut off contact with your siblings or your parents or the partner of a sibling. It's a very dramatic and upsetting and difficult situation. Sometimes it just happens all of a sudden, and sometimes people don't even know why it's happened. And other times it seems to kind of drag on and on and on because one or both parties is looking to hopefully find a way to resolve the differences that have kept them in such an acrimonious relationship. I'm dealing with a young identical twin male in his mid-20s who describes a lifelong situation of acrimony with his brother. And it's never gotten better over time. It's only gotten worse. And he's sort of at his wits' end about what to do. Um, Partly it's because he keeps getting activated and triggered with all these very angry and lonely feelings. And he has an enormous longing to try to work things out, but he's sort of made it very clear that his brother is not interested in that at all. The brother seems to have cut off in some way from him a long time ago. And it's a complicated situation. It's not just the twinship, but it's the family dynamics. It's the other siblings. But in this particular family, everyone seems to be able to get along except this gentleman and his brother. So, when do you decide that you don't want to take it anymore, or you can't take it anymore, or you're getting so triggered with a multitude of feelings that it's taking up so much space inside of you, and it doesn't feel as if there's a resolution in sight? And I think what he has ended up coming to is that there really is no point in belaboring this. He had high hopes that other family members would rush in and help him resolve this, but that's not happening. And with his brother seemingly being very unwilling and unable to talk things through or to try to come to some sort of superficial, at least, understanding or compromise, that isn't happening either. So his choices are to continue to be really agitated and angry and overwhelmed because he's caught up in a situation that seemingly has no good ending. Or he can eventually accept that this is the way things are going to be until they change or they don't change. It's a very sad situation. And I think the fact that he continues to hope for some other outcome is a very lovely thought. However, his hoping and longing for something that seems at this point highly unlikely and unreasonable is only leaving him feeling so despondent and overwhelmed. So it is a very difficult situation whenever this happens in families with siblings, with twins, parents. It's unfortunately how many siblings feel. You don't choose your siblings. And given how each one of you was parented, or maybe your birth order, or maybe your sex, gender, or maybe your parents, how they raised one or the other, how different it was, all those things contribute to sometimes having siblings come to a situation where there's just a big emotional impasse. So I'm hoping that I can help my patient get to the point where he is able to accept that there doesn't seem to be any hopeful solution, and over time help him find the tools and the strategy and the strength to deal with the separation and the actual ending of this relationship with his brother. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week.